was on the market. I was working for myself for a number of years before this, and it was very, very difficult for me to decide to become an employee. So I came across Action, and it was just like a godsend for me, because I knew that I'd love to help people achieve their goals. I've done that in my previous life, you could say. So that was one of the areas. The other areas that I knew that I could pursue this as my stage in my life, where just after getting married and I wanted to have kids, and I knew I could do that with Action Coach, as well as have a successful career but also a successful family life. Every business does need a coach, because I know I ran a business myself for a number of years in sales and marketing. It was a very successful business, but in one sense the business was running, but I was actually working in the business, and I was the business basically. I was working crazy hours, crazy day, 6 days a week, 7 days a week sometimes. So I know that sometimes we as business owners, we get carried away with our business, and we don't actually know, or we forget the reason why we went into business in the first place. And a coach, having an outsider's point of view, helping us to keep focused on what we want to achieve, is essential to every business in order for it to become successful. What I love the most is getting results, and actually it's normally at the beginning of coaching where you see some people changing. It just changes their life completely. Their mentality changes, because I have worked with business owners, and you see them, for example, one of my clients used to come to work every day, and I met him, and he used to have a jumper and jeans. He came to work, and during the whole process, I was talking to him. He said he'd come to work normally when he started in a suit, and I was saying, why do you do that? He said, because I was proud and I had dreams and goals and everything else. So actually, just from doing our coaching, he's actually now comes to work every day in a suit, because he's just got his mentality back. When running a business, I never had a coach, but since I've joined Action, I have my own coach's coach, and she has been a star. She's been a godsend, because I might be happy after achieving something, and then she'll go, okay, so what's next? I'm going, hey, hang on, wait a minute now. I feel good about what I've done. Fantastic. And there's always good positive strokes as well, but it's always like, okay, so what's next? And it's helping me to push myself to what I want to achieve. So it's essential for me. I suppose the first is that I'm very straight with people, very direct, and I come across, sometimes I'm very blunt, and sometimes people need that. Okay, so I think that helps them. So that's 3 already, isn't it? Sometimes that helps them just to say, right, you know what, this girl, if I get her, there'll be no, can I curse in this thing? No. There'll be no, she's going to tell it like it is. Yes, no rubbish, exactly. And of course, as well as that, I'm a very people person, so I know that I can judge people's characters pretty well, and that helps, especially if it is with them, if they want to communicate with their team. I know how to communicate with people, so passing on that knowledge is huge. First thing I love teaching business owners is just finding out where they want to go in their life, because a lot of them have lost track in that, and I love the headspace, I could say, finding out what is it that makes them tick, and then working with that, that's what I love to. I love getting them educated on maybe they might have to expand their dreams that they never thought they would have before, because they've never been asked about it before, that kind of thing. The next area I like to see in businesses is how they go about putting a system into a business, because a system is amazing for any business, because obviously it just means that there's less time, less effort on the team's part if they just run a system. So that's the 2 areas that I love coaching people on. It's funny, it is, because sometimes they just like having somebody that can tell it like it is, having that person that they can, if things haven't been going great, it's great to have somebody to listen to you when you have those problems, because a lot of business owners are actually, they're very lonely, in that sense. They can't come home to their wife and children, or their husband and their children, and say, look, I've had a really shit day at work, or things aren't going that well, because they have a part, they're they've got a different part to play in that life. You can only get me to become your coach if you are willing to improve and you know that you need to change. And if you know that you want to change, because I can't work with people who know they have to change but actually don't want to change anything about themselves. Because in order for their business to change, they have to change themselves. And once people understand that and they put their hand up and say, you know what, I actually want to change. And that's why I can help you change if you're that type of person. Action.